Hello and welcome to UMATA. Who matters? UMATA. I'm G-Man here in Florida, and I got actually a really important video today. At least the subject is. And I'm gonna need to probably cover this subject many times because it's so important and it's really the root of what everyone cares about, which is how is fat burned? Simple question, but it's a simple answer. Now you got it. There are millions of people who are telling you right now, shoving down your throat, how fat is burned. The simplest answer you need to know about is fat is burned when energy is required and carbohydrates are not available. That's the key. The other additional part of that is that fat is only burned when insulin levels in the bloodstream are very low. When insulin levels are very low in the bloodstream, it triggers enzymes that break apart the fat chains that keep the three fat molecules together in the fat cell. So you need those two things to be paired to easily burn fat. So let's go into that a little bit deeply. First, fat is burned when energy is consumed, meaning some form of activity, and carbohydrates are not there, sugar is not there. Now, generally speaking, regardless of the diet, unless you're in keto, your muscles, your liver store about 500 to 1500 calories of sugar / glucose, glycogen in your body on any given day. So, people say you need to do more than you eat. That's true. But you actually need to do more than the average amount of glycogen and sugars stored in your liver and in your muscles for you to actually trigger burning fat. Now, the easiest way to do that is to not eat a lot of sugars or carbohydrates. Only eat 200 to 400 calories of sugar in a day. So the way that I do calories or sugars or carbohydrates is I don't eat them at night at all ever. I only have bread, whether it's a sandwich or toast or whatever, or even something sweet. Like if someone hands me a candy at the office, I'll eat it. It's a candy. You gotta relax a little bit. But I don't eat a whole bag. I eat 1 or 2 of them. But I only do this stuff in the morning and at lunchtime because I'm guaranteed that by 5 o'clock, whatever 100 to 300 calories of carbohydrate I've had, it's gone. I've burned it. So then when I come home and I walk at the end of the day or I do an exercise at the end of the day, there's no sugar in my body because I'm averaging only like 200 to 300 calories of carbohydrates in my body. So if you have a healthy diet, where you eat a minimal amount of carbohydrates, and when you do eat them, it's only in the morning or at lunch. After about a week or two, your body's not going to be able to store more than 300 or 400 calories of carbohydrates in the body a day. So you don't have this buildup of like 1500 in your liver and whatever, and you have a fatty liver. So that's the easiest way, is to minimally only consume the carbohydrates you have at breakfast and at lunch when the day is up, and have them early in the day. The other thing we're going to get into is the insulin part. This is why you can't snack. If you exercise quickly after a meal, it's basically pointless.
Hi there.
Hey. If you exercise quickly after a meal, it's basically pointless. When you have any kind of food or meal, you spike your insulin. If you were to exercise within 1 to 2 hours afterwards, your insulin levels are through the roof anyways. You're only going to be burning the immediate sugars you have. You're not going to be burning any fat. However, if you exercise only 4 to 5 hours after you've had any significant amount of sugars, your insulin levels are way down. Once your insulin levels are down, whatever sugars are around your body, they're going to be used up really quickly. And about halfway into your workout, you're going to start burning fat. Now, here's the thing about insulin. This is why you can't snack. Every time you put anything that isn't water or coffee or tea into your body, so basically any form of food. Now fluids doesn't matter. Well, soda it matters, but water, tea, coffee doesn't matter. As soon as you eat anything, you immediately spike your insulin. And as soon as you spike your insulin, exercising does nothing for 4 or 5 hours until your insulin goes back down. Because the hormone is not being released when it needs to be when you're exercising to break apart the fatty acids in your fat cells. And so if you want to lose weight, I'm going to be honest, you're never going to be able to snack ever again in your life. You can never have chips, you can never have Twizzlers. You can have that as a dessert in a meal at lunchtime, but you're never going to be able to snack on them during the day in the afternoon or late in the evening, and you're certainly never going to be able to have them at dinner time because there just aren't enough hours left in the day to burn it off. And the other thing to keep in mind is that if you're eating throughout the day and you're grazing like a fat cow, frankly, you're spiking your insulin all day long. That's where the diabetes comes from. That's where the insulin resistance comes from. You can't graze like a cow. You're not a cow. First off, if you were a cow, you're eating lettuce all day because it's grass. So if you come to me and say, hey man, G-man, I'm eating all the day, I'm doing just fine. And you're saying, yeah, but I only eat cucumbers. Okay, fine, I'll give you that. You're only eating this stuff. You're only eating grass. But for any other normal human, you're grazing like a pig. You're like a porker. Okay, you can't do that anymore if you want any chance of losing weight. I hate to break to you. I hate to say it like that to you, but it's the truth. You just can't do it. And the reason why you're snacking is because you don't have enough protein in your diet during the meals that you eat. We can go more into that as well. Those are two key things you need to understand about burning fat. It's a much larger subject, and if there's more specific areas about it you want to go into, text me, comment me, whatever, tweet me at UMATA_official. We'll get into that too. But who matters? You matter. Like, comment, subscribe.